Here we go. Episode 12 of the 5 to 9 podcast. Probably the last one of the year for 2016. Not to date ourselves, but it's been an adventurous year. With me, I'm Vincent Marbelli. With me, as always, is my co-host and colleague, Michael Martino. Mike, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing good, my brother.
Fantastic.
It's
fantastic.
Yes, it's been quite a year. This is probably going to be the last one as we right into the sunset of 2017. But just because we're closing down the podcast for the year, it doesn't mean that we've stopped doing work over the holiday season.
Right.
We just know that people are thinking about other things besides podcasting. So we know our audience, as you should know your customers. So even though your customers aren't around to do business with you, this is a great time to do some behind the scenes work and keep grinding it out through this festive season.
Right. Yeah. Just because it looks like you're doing nothing doesn't mean you should actually be doing nothing. And I think, we talked about this probably back in August when we talked about the summer. Oh, it's August. I can't do any work because it's August. People are on vacation. I gotta take some time off. Hopefully you're watching the video and you're getting the hand gestures as I'm doing this. I mean, the year is there for you. And so, August is what sets you apart from your competition. Are you going to use August to slow down and relax? Are you going to use August to ready yourself to ramp up? And the end of the year is the same thing. The end of the year, I've heard countless people in the 9 to 5 and the 5 to 9. Oh, it's the end of the year. We just got to wind it down. It's time to, celebrate on all we've done. Yes, you should be celebrating what you've done. But you should also understand that this week, next week, the week after that, they are work weeks. Yes, you get a couple days off, and I don't want to dispute that. Family is important, and yes. But you should be using the time now to get ready for 2017. Because that calendar is going to flip over, and you can't be wasting time in the new year figuring out what you've got to do.
I agree. And so in the last few episodes of Straight No Chaser, I've talked about doing some nitty-gritty work around your customer. Getting to know your customer, reevaluating who your customer is. Maybe if you're innovating, finding new customers. So that's well documented. Go back to the past episode, the last 3 episodes of Straight No Chaser. But from your perspective, Vince, I know, you start off with your customer. What do you think people should be doing behind the scenes to be ready for 2017? So for me, it's that customer piece that flows into the business modeling piece to make sure the business model is where it should be at your 5 to 9. So that's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing? What are you doing to get ready for the 2017?
So what I'm doing personally in my 5 to 9 is reviewing my strategy, setting my goals, which if you don't have your goals for 2017 set yet, what are you waiting for? And so I've got, my set goals, my let's call them reasonable targets. And then Mike, and we've talked about, I'm like the king of stretch targets. So, okay, you sold 20 units this year. Why not 2,000 next year? Like that's the kind of more normal people do, like a 10 times, 5 times, that's their goal. No, I just do like 1,000 times what you did this year. So I've got a couple of sets of goals. But tying specifically into the work that you and I do, Mike, and tying into this podcast, I've got a couple of goals for next year that sort of all integrate, but it's all built on the platform that is Vince. And so, yeah,
The platform that is Vince.
the platform that is Vince and all associated brands and registered trademarks. But I focus as much as you, in much the same way that you focus on the customer, I focus on process, and that's why I think we work very well together. So I'm focused on developing a strategy, understanding through your work who my key customers are. Are there any customers that I've missed, customer segments that I should cater to or tailor products to, or is it validating that I've got it right, reviewing my business model, and then understanding once the goals are set, coming up with strategies to achieve those goals. And so that's sort of where I am right now. So I've set my goals, and now I'm going to spend the next few days coming up with the strategy, the tactics associated with the strategies to actually execute on those goals. So I want to achieve a couple of things. One, for those that are watching on YouTube, is because I've got a huge ego, which introvert with an ego, Mike, bad combination. I want to get a YouTube vanity URL. It's a nothing goal, but that's something that I want to achieve in 2017. And so I think it's a reasonable thing, and that's what I'm doing. That's just one of the things I'm willing to share. The other stuff I'm not willing to talk about at this point because I'm still figuring things out. But I know where I want to be at the end of 2017, and now I've got to figure out how to get there.
And
how about you, Mike?
I think so. What I've been doing is the customer work.
Yes.
Are the customers that we have, are they the ones that we should be keeping? Or is that still a target group that we're trying to fill their need? And we have goals and plans for next year. So are the new verticals that we're going into, what do those customers look like? Which is a little prospective. We've never dealt with them. So we're doing a bunch of work around that. And then the next 90-day challenge. So
yes, excited for that.
90-day challenge starts January 1st.
Excited for that.
So once the next week and a bit to solidify our customer base and what our business model is looking like, then we're going to hit the ground running with the next 90-day challenge. And then we have a bunch of work left over from last year from our previous 90-day challenge of what we are going to continue to give to our customers. And that's what I mean about, we know our customers have wound down. It's just natural, but we haven't. So we've done, we're doing a bunch of foundational work, which you should be doing in your 5 to 9 right now. That foundational work where you're probably not running the kids to lessons. You've probably finished whatever extracurricular activities you've done because it kind of shuts down now. So you actually have a lot of extra time to fill. And so you have actually more 5 to 9 time right now. So it's a perfect time to kind of do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's also a good time for some personal development. And what do I mean by that?
I left mine in another room.
So Vince and I just both got our hands on Tools for Titans.
Wait. Well, you just talk about it. Keep it up, though.
So by the fantastic Tim Ferriss, whose podcast is tremendous. His books are tremendous. I've read them all. 4-Hour Workweek, The 4-Hour Chef, The 4-Hour Body. This is his break from the 4-Hour brand, but he's had a ridiculous amount of people on his podcast. Everybody from Schwarzenegger to Jamie Foxx, who's tremendous. So, and he talks about everything, about from working out to sleep to how you solve problems. So I'm not saying get this book, but I got this book, and I also got The Thank You Economy by our boy
Oh, you're beating me
Gary
to this,
V.
man. I got to get that book.
Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, our man, hashtag Gary V, at Gary V.
At Gary, yeah.
So
Gary, if you're listening, we'll have you on anytime.
anytime, you can come on anytime you want.
Anytime. Just call me. Just call me.
So these are some other ways we continue to hustle. Like,
Yeah.
don't always have time to read throughout the year. I'm going to be on vacation for the next 2 weeks. So it's a good, during quiet time, during downtime when we're not out with the family, like the 27th, 28th, 29th, I'll just be at home. Good time to, while the kids are doing what they do now, good time to a little self-improvement.
Yeah, and that's it was actually that book that when we started talking about what to talk about this episode, I had started reading yesterday, and I got to a quote by Peter Thiel. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, where it was like, okay, we've got a 10-year plan. Let's make that happen in the next 6 months. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what it was. We've got a 10-year plan. Why can't we get it done in the next 6 months? And that mind, because it's like, yeah, like why can't we? Why do we have to wait 10 years to get something done? Why can't we just do it in the next 6 months? And that was like in the first 10 pages of the book. So when we talked earlier, Mike, about what are we going to talk about in tonight's podcast, and I said I want to talk about that, on accelerating through the finish line that is 2016. And we should probably call the episode that, accelerating through the finish line. And then you said, I guess you haven't listened to the last 3 episodes of Straight No Chaser. And I said, no, I haven't. Unfortunately, I have not. I haven't had time. And they are great, though. So, this is almost a perfect cap to what you've been talking about the last 3 episodes of your one-off series, Straight No Chaser. And I have to still develop my one-off series, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. But this was something that always has stuck with me, because I don't look at this time as vacation time, even though I'm off from the 9 to 5. It doesn't mean I stop working. It doesn't mean I stop hustling. It doesn't mean I stop doing what I have to do. So, I've got some personal stuff happening that right now is taking precedence. Sorry, president. If we're using the recent hashtag faux pas, I'm in unprecedented waters right now.
Waters.
Yeah. So I've got a couple things that I'm dealing with through the personal. But I'm making time to, continue my personal development, my personal professional development, and then also get things ready so that we can have a successful 5 to 9 2017 with the 5 to 9 community and with my own brand, I guess, GPS group, Global Project Synergy Group, and the Mike and Vince joint, which is CX Sigma, which I don't know if we've talked about on the show, but CX Sigma, look out for that. That is going to be an up-and-coming fun little experiment that Mike and I are working on. We like full spectrum domination.
And that doesn't happen by taking weeks off. So
no,
it's also a good time to break patterns. And start new patterns, because when you get in the throes of hammering out your 9 to 5 and then your 5 to 9 and then whatever family stuff you have, you get in a pattern. And I always find, like, in your late October, November, you're kind of just surviving, and you just got in that pattern. And if you want to bring yourself to the next level, you have to break that. And I find this is a good time to break it, because there's a wind down in the 9 to 5, and you can really take the time to go, I don't really want to be doing those things anymore. I'm going to start doing something else, whatever that may be. So this is a good time to reset for the new year. And if you want to do something, don't wait till January 1st. Resolutions are stupid.
Yeah, I was waiting to say that.
I mean, if it's December 31st and you go, you know what I'm going to start doing tomorrow? This, good. But it's only, what's today? The 20th? Don't think magically on the 1st. I'm going to start working out on January 1st. You know what? Tomorrow is probably a good day to start working out.
Yeah, today's the 20th. Start on the 21st.
Right.
If it's October and it's like, yeah, here's what I'm gonna do in 2017. Yeah. No, start now. Start now.
So
do it now.
I was at a family function, and one of my cousins said, January 1st, I'm done with the wine. Okay, so just be done with the wine now. Like, if you don't want to have it, what's magically going to happen on January the 1st? So
this is that Peter Thiel. Whoa, like why am I just do it now? Why am I making plans for 10 years from now? Do it now. Yeah. Make it happen now.
Because who knows what's going to happen in 5 years? That is going to interrupt that. So
who knows what's going to happen in 5 minutes?
Yeah. So if you want to do it, don't wait for some magical day. Right now is probably good, or tomorrow. That's a good day.
Yeah.
Start if you just thought about it at time check 7:05 on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea to start now. So don't wait for resolutions and things like that. Today is better than any other day.
Yeah. Hashtag resolutions are stupid.
That's right. I'm gonna have to throw out a picture.
I was just gonna work on one as you were talking, but we'll do that later. All right, cool. Mike, any last closing things you want to say on our last podcast of 2016? This has been our first full year.
It's been a full year
because we started last November.
Yeah,
late November.
This will probably be one. This will probably be the last one until maybe like after the new year.
Probably.
So we won't be around next week. Thank you for you people that listen. We get a very good download, and it's always there's like a core group of people. So I thank you, because we see what the downloads are, and they're very solid. So thank you. And so thank you for listening. And for 2017, just keep hammering, keep hustling, and please, if you need any help, reach out to us, or if we inspire you in any way to keep the grind going, let us know, because then we can tailor some episodes to that. And so next year we hope to have some more guests.
Yes.
But it's always going to be about hustle. It's always going to be about tools for your 5 to 9. And so that's what I had for this last episode of 2016.
Fantastic. I'm going to echo that. I appreciate every single person and every single download, because I think we've talked about very, very early on. This show was originally in its working title was called Two Idiots Talk About Stuff. And, the fact that there are people that actually download and listen to what these two idiots have to say is kind of humbling and kind of awesome. And I know that a lot of people throw that word. I'm so humbled by this, Oscar. I'm humbled, but I actually do mean it, because I can't imagine people enjoying what we have to say. And I think it's like the coolest thing ever that people actually care what we have to say, and that's awesome. So I appreciate you for listening to all those out there who are listening. And if you enjoy what you hear, we would love it if you could also share it with your friends and family and coworkers and colleagues, and let's spread the word of the 5 to 9. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people this year that I had no idea had 5 to 9 gigs, side gigs, and hustles, and it just sort of comes out, which is amazing. And so we've started this thing not really knowing what it was going to be, and I think it's more and more we're finding people very, very similar to us, kindred spirits, if you will. And so, you know, we want to grow this community, and we want to make it for you. And that means, you know, you got to let us know what you want, and we'll figure out the best way to give it to you. But we can't do this without all of you. So thank you very much, and all the best to you all in the through the end of the year, and also into the new year. So as always, comments, questions, concerns, yell at us, praise us, whatever, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, at Vince Mirabelli, Vince_Mirabelli, and at Mike Martino. And you can get us on
5 to 9 community on
at
Instagram.
5 to 9 community on Instagram. It's probably the best place to get the both of us on Instagram, and then YouTube. Let's grow this thing even bigger in the next year.
All right. So
thank you, everyone.
Have a great holiday season, and see you in 2017.
Until 2017, buddy. Bye-bye.